Take this ass whipping twice in the week.
Hey, we're in London, Ontario, Canada, between a couple of Don't Tell comedy shows. I'm sitting here with my good friend and stand-up comedian,
Mitch VK.
Hey, Mitch, how you living, bro?
Fucking fantastic.
Okay, it's not like we did this twice. How long you been doing comedy, bro?
I just hit my 5-year anniversary.
Hey, congrats. You know what's funny? As we're sitting here between shows, I was scrolling through my Instagram, just purging it, and I saw my 5-year anniversary post.
No way.
So it's fun that I'm sitting here with you, like, because I was reading the post that I made, and I was like so sappy and overly sentimental. How do you feel 5 years into stand-up comedy?
First of all, I find that very serendipitous that we even do. Good. I feel like, you know, every week you learn something new, something else clicks.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just was hanging out with Max Sheldrick today, and I was like, dude, I figured it out. I'm the king of comedy. And, you know, then the next week you bomb and you figure it out all over again. But I feel good. I feel good at what's been accomplished so far.
What's a positive and a negative that you've taken away from comedy at this point? You can tell how high I am, yes?
The positive is I've gotten good at bombing. I can take it on the chin, and you can take the lessons from it and really learn from it. You know,
Okay.
I don't really get my feelings hurt when I bomb anymore.
Yeah.
Some of them are soul crushing, but you know, it happens. And then, yeah, I don't know. The negative, again, sometimes like you have a good set,
Yeah.
but it's not perfect. That almost hurts more than a bomb, because you're like, I could have done this line, I could have done this, I should have said this in that crowd work piece. And it's a big moving piece, so there's always so much to learn, and you can really beat yourself up over.
How much are you watching your footage? Like, do you listen more to audio or do you watch yourself, like recorded?
I'm exclusively audio listening right now. I rarely watch video footage. Yeah.
Is it hard for you to do that?
It is, yeah. I have a lot of mannerisms that I don't like about myself that hurt me a lot.
Yeah. It took me years. Like, I had to force myself to be able to even just listen at the beginning because it was just so bad to me. And like, I couldn't watch either. But then eventually it just starts getting easier, which means you're starting to get, like, that was one of my favorite things, that moment where I'm like, oh, I can listen to this.
Yeah.
And it's not cringy.
The funny thing is, like, sometimes when you're doing like, especially these don't tell rooms, when they're pop-ups in different locations, the crowds aren't huge. So at the time you're like, I'm killing. And then you listen to the audio recording, the sound of 30 people laughing, and you're like, oh, damn.
Yeah, interesting locations. Like, you said they don't do bars or restaurants?
No, all kind of unique venues. Yeah. One of my favorites that we do is an old abandoned laser tag venue. And so we drop the address unmarked on another street. People load in through a secret speakeasy door, and then they walk through.
No way.
Yeah, they walk through the old Laser Quest maze, and they start to clue in halfway through. They're like, oh man, we're in a Laser Quest. And then it spits them out in the lobby, and they do the show.
So, like, I normally don't do this, but bro, you have to bring me back, because I saw that show. I saw the photos that's my childhood Laser Quest. You know what I mean? So and at first I was like, yo, we're going to be doing a show in a Laser Quest. But then I remember they don't do the same shows twice, right? Like,
yeah, we will have you back though. We use that location every couple months. So.
well, nigga, see you in a few months, bro. I got to pew pew. Okay, so back to the comedy stuff. 5 years in, how do you still feel about comedy at this point?
I still love it. You know, you start and then you see people come and go, and there's people that you think are really funny and they quit, and you're like, it's almost like going through a breakup. You're like, shit, this guy, I loved booking this guy, and he quit because to have kids or fucking get an RRSP or something.
Yeah.
But I still love it just as much as when I started, if not more.
Okay. Now, let's say somebody who's never touched a mic before approaches you and asks you for some advice. What would you give them?
You never stop and do as many sets as humanly possible. You have to.
Was that something you learned like on your own? Was that something that somebody told you and you just like applied it and it helped you a lot, or?
Yeah. Like, I think when a lot of people start, they think they have to do new stuff every single set, and then you start to clue in that people are working on jokes. They're doing the same jokes, just different ways, and tweaking and kind of finessing them like that. And yeah, once you get into that habit, then things start to fall in place.
Fair enough. Let's say you hop in a time machine, go back to when you first started, and you get to give yourself a piece of advice. What would you tell yourself, or would you?
I'd probably not apply for things so early. Like I was a couple months in. I'm like, I'm gonna throw my name in this festival and this.
Oh,
and
okay. So
they're gonna love me. And it's like it's embarrassing to look back on.
You send footage like 5 months into comedy?
Dude, yeah. And you do hear success stories from that, which is hilarious too. But yeah, it's not a good move.
I'll ask you one final question. What does stand-up comedy mean to you, or what is it to you?
Stand-up comedy to me is, I mean, it's my favorite thing in the whole wide world. If I could make it a full-time career of anything, I would. It's the best. The best feeling of being on stage. It's like pissing in a fresh snowbank. Like you just make your mark when you make a good joke and just fucking.
You literally piss your name in the snow.
Which I do all the time.
I'm making my mark.
Maybe that's a very white thing. Maybe.
Yo, that's on you, nigga. I had to drop an M-bomb there. That's on you, nigga. But yo, Mitch, I love you, bro. You want to plug anything?
Hell yeah. Don't Tell Comedy every month in London, Ontario. Hit up Don't Tell. And Giggle Boys Comedy. We run shows like all across the country now. So give us a follow. Hit me up.
If you want to support us, then head over to patreon.com/aka Black Zeus, where you can catch the full episodes when they drop the first Monday of every month. Or you can subscribe right here on YouTube and catch the free episodes every other week. We got new episodes of the podcast dropping every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. We got interviews with comedians that are famous and not famous all over the channel. We got comedy clips. This is the place to be if you're a comedy fan. This is a channel run by comedians for comedy fans. That's you. So become a beautiful person and hit that subscribe. And if you can, head over to patreon.com/aka Black Zeus and support us on the come up. Peace.